And now we have Sgt Hilda Moloney on the phone, I hope. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you keeping?
I'm well, thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
That's great. So what's the news from the Garda at the moment?
I suppose we've had a few serious incidents in the Killaloe area over the last week. We've had 2 burglaries. One burglary happened between the 21st and 22nd of March in Killaloe. We're just looking for any members of the public that could help us. There was a house just here in Killaloe village that's being renovated at the moment, and it was broken into, and a few bits of equipment were taken. So anyone that would have seen anyone in the area overnight acting suspiciously, if they could contact us here at Killaloe Garda Station.
Do you want to give out the number?
Yeah, it's 061 620 540.
Okay.
And again, anyone that gets through to Nina, they'll be able to pass us on any messages.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
and then the next would be, it was the 23rd of March in the Knockadrihead area, O'Brien's Bridge. There was a burglary there at a mobile home where damage was caused to the mobile home. So there was nothing taken, but again, anyone that saw any suspicious activity in the area, maybe in the days leading up to it or during 7:30 and 8:30 on the 24th, on the 23rd of March, if they could contact us again at Killaloe Garda Station.
Mm-hmm. It's a pity that these are happening in daylight hours now, which are now daylight hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is indeed. Mm-hmm. You know, so I suppose statistically, really, I suppose more and more burglaries are happening during the daytime, during the daylight hours, when people are out, in comparison to maybe at night time when people would be at home.
Yes.
So then I suppose this is kind of a good news story. There was a theft of an Ivor Williams trailer in Ardnatagle O'Brien's Bridge between the 25th and 26th of March. And due to inquiries there carried out by An Garda Síochána, the trailer was located.
Oh, that's
and
good.
has been returned to the owner.
Yeah.
You know. So I suppose that's the bit of good news.
Mm-hmm.
So it is. And over the week, in general, it hasn't been too bad in the area. So that would be it for our crime.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the new decision you've made about reducing, or that has been made about reducing the speed limit? Has that been put into force, or, you know, in rural roads, reducing the speed limit from 80?
Yeah, where you see the new signs that have been put up.
Okay.
Yeah, they have been put into force.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that many of them, to tell you the truth.
They're there all the same, Geraldine.
They're there all the same. Yeah. They've been put on a lot of the local roads.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
and it's a good plan, I have to say. Fair dues to you.
Yeah.
I think
no, it's great. In all fairness, for the smaller roads, you know, people would think that they could travel 80 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
When the road, I suppose, it wouldn't be fit for 50 kilometres an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's fantastic. So I suppose, keeping with the road safety issue there, it's just that I'd like to bring up there in relation to pedestrians, just I suppose with the longer evenings coming in and stuff, that's just a bit of, I suppose, safety that pedestrians, cyclists and e-scooter users should be aware of, you know, when they're out and about, if that's all right with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, just for pedestrians there, I suppose, to be aware of their surroundings, to always use the designated crossing points to cross the road where that is possible, I suppose, in around towns and villages. Mm-hmm. Where there is a footpath, where a footpath is not present, to make sure that they walk against the flow of traffic and to be prepared to step in off the road when necessary. Again, never to cross the road between traffic. You know, just to be aware of their surroundings, be very careful. And to wear high-vis jackets. I know some people think that maybe it's for the hours of darkness, but I suppose that evenings kind of, in twilight, it's very difficult to see people walking.
Yes, very difficult time to see people.
And even if they're on a footpath or anything like that, even in around the town, you know, with the lights, sometimes it is quite hard to see people. Just to make sure that they have high visibility clothing, you know, wear light clothing. And when crossing the road, to be aware that some vehicles, such as trucks and buses, have restricted views, just to make sure that they know that they've been seen before they do cross the road. Mm-hmm. And I suppose cyclists, then, I suppose some people think that they're the bane of their existence on the roads, but just to be, they were on the roads before cars were nearly.
Yeah.
Just to keep your bicycle roadworthy and to make sure the brakes are working, that there's lights on the bikes and bells are fitted. To wear a helmet, to use the correct hand signals, especially for traffic behind you and coming against you. Again, wear high visibility clothing to be seen. Don't cycle while intoxicated, whether through drink or drugs. Not to cycle on footpaths. I know some people might think it's safer, but for the poor pedestrian that isn't able to get out of the way on time, do you know?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Older people can find it very intimidating to see a cyclist coming against them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that they shouldn't be on the footpath in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Not to wear headphones when cycling, that you can't hear traffic or you can't hear people.
No, that's true.
So you can think ahead and be observant. Use cycle tracks where provided, which I suppose around Killaloo, we're very lucky now with the new road system that we have. We have those new tracks in place, and even all the way out to Bird Hill, which will be brilliant when the bridge opens. To be aware of blind spots, blind areas in larger vehicles, again like the trucks and buses, and not to cycle in a dangerous manner that would cause annoyance to other road users or to be dangerous to other road users, and not to cycle through red lights. So cyclists are, like motorists, supposed to adhere to the rules of the road.
Right.
So they are.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I suppose high-vis jackets, and even kids out cycling, even in their own estate, to make sure that they have high-vis jackets on for cars coming and going through the estates.
Yeah.
That they're seen. And I suppose e-scooters, which are, I suppose, a new thing, but not really a new thing anymore, that there is a maximum weight limit, would you believe, for it, that it's of unladen weight 25 kilograms.
God, I wonder would I qualify.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And there's a maximum design of speed limit, so 20 kilometres per hour, and a maximum power of 400 watts for scooters, I suppose, people to be aware of when they're buying scooters. Mm-hmm. E-scooters are not allowed on footpaths or on motorways. You're not allowed to carry passengers or goods on them either, and they're not to have a seat.
Right.
So they wouldn't be considered an e-scooter if they had a seat in it.
Okay.
And again, I suppose the must-have for e-scooters, they should have a front and rear lights, a bell or a horn on them, I suppose, front and rear brakes, and e-scooter users must be over 16 years of age.
That's good. Again, that's a good idea. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it is, and I suppose I know someone who was hit a few years back by an e-scooter user and ended up with serious injuries because of the impact.
Yeah. Well, if they're travelling at speed, I can imagine they do some damage.
Yeah. She ended up with damage to her wrist and a broken jaw at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it is very serious injuries from someone on an e-scooter who was on the footpath and shouldn't have been.
Right.
And so I suppose drivers, just be aware that there's more people out there in the evenings these days. Yeah. More walkers, runners, cyclists, taking advantage of the fine long evenings. And after, I suppose, this evening, we'll have longer evenings again.
Yeah, time changes this evening, doesn't it? Springs forward. Yeah, an hour.
Yeah. That basically goes forward an hour. So we're going to, I suppose, it'll be nearly 8 o'clock before it'll be getting darker, even later again.
Yeah, which is wonderful. Yeah.
It's great. It's great now, in all fairness. We've had good weather as well.
Yeah. Hilda, that's wonderful. Is there anything else you want to tell us about?
No, I'd say that's all good. Good.
Marianne wants to ask you something.
Can I make just a comment, really, Hilda? One thing I noticed recently that people may not be so aware of is that people wearing head torches, and they can be quite dazzling. As a motorist coming along now, I was unsure myself what I was coming up to even. Just to be aware that even if they turn them down or something for if they see a car coming, because it was news to me that they could be so dazzling.
So blinding.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I suppose it can be dazzling. I suppose an automatic reaction would be for someone to look at a car that's coming against them.
Yes, that's about it. Or even if they hadn't one on, to turn one on, and then it's really a blinding situation. But it's just something people probably don't realise, because there is a very good light out of them for walking. But that's
just to be
aware.
aware.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Thank you.
A good point. Cheers.
Hilda,
Thanks a million.
thank you very much for coming on this morning, and we'll speak to you again.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye
you.
now.
Bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
now. Bye.